Hi Pokefans! As you might know, the latest Tera Raid battle event is now live in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for Mighty Empoleon. This is the 7-star Tera Raid battle that we have, where Empoleon does have the Ice Tera type. This event runs until February 4th, which is the first run, and will repeat again next week. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about its moveset as well as a couple of tips that did actually help me catch Empoleon. Now it does have the moveset Surf, Flash Cannon, Ice Beam and Grass Knot, which are the 4 main moves. Additional move being Snowscape, Blizzard and Iron Defense. It does use Snowscape and Blizzard in the very first turn, so be aware about that. Iron Defense is being used once the shield is down. It tends to go ahead with the Ice Beam and Surf in my game, but it does actually use the other moves when it actually gets a random turn. Now its ability is competitive, which makes it a bit tougher considering its special attack does get increased. I would definitely recommend going ahead with a fighting type Pokemon that is resisting the ice and water type move. I don't believe Grass Knot would do really that big of a damage. You could definitely try using a Pokemon such as Gallade or Iron Hands, which are resisting most of its moves. I've seen people use other Pokemons as well. As long as you don't really get affected by either the ice type or water type moves, you should be good. In my case, since I did have a Iron Hand in level 100, I just went ahead and used it. By the way, it doesn't really have any special stats or EVs or IVs in either case. It's just a Pokemon that I did randomly catch in the game itself and just leveled it up. Either way, I would recommend not using Belly Drum in the first turn, as you might get a bit more damage by Blizzard. In this case, I did have Gardevoir who was helping with the support, so that was really good. It seems like Gully did get frozen in the very first turn, which was quite unfortunate. I wasn't really able to use Belly Drum either, although that didn't stop me from trying to. Got hit by Grass Knot and that was pretty powerful. Thankfully, we did have one of our team members trying to increase the defense and special defense stats for me, so that was good. Now, unfortunately, I actually forgot to heal myself right here. As you can see, my Iron Hands did go down and the shield was put up on Empoleon. But of course, as long as you have a Pokemon that's able to raise the defense stat of your team members, you should eventually be able to go ahead and use Belly Drum and still not take damage by the other moves from Empoleon. I had to have a better strategy, so I went ahead and ignored using Belly Drum for now. I'm gonna go with a couple of Drain Punches to see how much damage that is gonna do. As for the Weavile over there, that is from a random trainer that is selected by the game itself. While I was playing this game, I was only having 2 other people with me, so Weavile is just a random Pokemon we did get, but it's not that bad either. Now, unfortunately, my Drain Punch is really not doing that much of a damage. I did decide to go ahead and try using Belly Drum again. This time, it really didn't do too much of a damage, and that's mainly because of Gardevoir putting up a Iron Defense. It was also going ahead and healing me, so that was pretty helpful. At this point, I'm also able to terrestrialize my Pokemon, and that is what I was waiting for. There we go. We are definitely doing way more damage than before. Sadly, I don't have a fighting Tera type on this one. I really wish I had a fighting Tera type Iron Hands, and that would have made it way easier. If you do have a Pokemon with fighting Tera type or Iron Hands with fighting Tera type, go ahead and try to use it, as it does do a bit more damage than what my Pokemon is doing right here. Either way, thankfully none of these special attacks are actually working against me, so that is really helpful. I'm also able to heal myself up now, especially since I'm doing a pretty good damage against Empoleon. Even though the timer is half completed, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to go ahead and defeat Empoleon at this point. Unfortunately, it did clear out the stats, so I do have to go for another belly drum in the next turn. Either way, at this point, once the defenses are completely up, the only other thing left to do for all the team members is to go ahead and try to hit it as hard as possible. As you could see, Gallade is actually using a couple of sword dances to increase its attack stat. That helps as well. It seems that Gardevoir has also terrestrialized, which is really helpful, as none of the other moves that Empoleon has will actually affect it at this point. Using another Drain Punch right here, I did get hit by a Grass Knot, which did barely any damage. But we are thankfully doing more damage now. Intermittently, Gardevoir is also healing my team members, which is pretty helpful. As long as you have a person who is able to focus on supporting the team members, I think you wouldn't have any Pokemon going down. Went with the second belly drum as my stats did get cleared again. Once again, I'm not too worried about getting a crit hit from Empoleon either. There we go, doing a better damage now. We're almost there. I also got pretty lucky and got a crit hit. One more turn of Drain Punch should be able to take down Empoleon. The timer is definitely running out, but I believe once we do have the shield down, yep, right here, with I believe another crit hit. Alright, never mind, that was not a crit hit, but definitely did way more damage. Alright, I think now that we have the shield down, we should be able to do more damage. Although I was a bit worried at this point. I thought if any one of my team members did go down, we might lose this battle. But we're definitely doing solid damage with Drain Punch, which is pretty helpful. I believe 3 more turns should be able to take down the Empoleon. There we go. Alright, I believe 1 more turn. Right here, I was worried that Gardevoir would go down, but it didn't, so that is pretty good. Got hit by a second Surf, but that last Drain Punch there, which was a crit hit, was able to take down Empoleon. There we go. I believe Empoleon is not too tough like the other 7-star raid Pokemon that we have faced before. But of course, you do have to have the right Pokemon and the right moves to go ahead and take it down. Hopefully this video did help you all in catching Empoleon for yourself. I also just want to warn about the Iron Defense that Empoleon does raise as soon as the shield is down. Make sure that your moves are still doing good damage. If not, go ahead and take a turn to, I guess, increase your own stats before attacking Empoleon once again. Anyway, there we go. Let me quickly go ahead and show up the rewards that you will get for Empoleon. On screen are the base rewards and the random rewards that you do get for defeating Empoleon. I definitely recommend going ahead and hosting your battles. The more people that you have who are willing to defeat Empoleon, the easier the battle is gonna be. As for its stats, it is right here on screen. It does have a really good moveset that you could definitely go ahead and use as well. Alright, that's all I had for today. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.